He was the kind of man who had everything: power, wealth, and a name that opened every door. Nathan Caldwell, the CEO of one of the biggest luxury real estate firms in the country, was known for his ruthless precision in business and his cold detachment from anything that didn't benefit his empire. But when his father passed away, Nathan was met with a final condition in the will that shook him: he wouldn't receive a single cent of his inheritance unless he got married within 30 days. No contract tricks, no loopholes. A real marriage. It was his father's way of forcing him to connect with someone, to not die alone as he feared his son would. Nathan didn't have time for love. He needed someone temporary, disposable. Someone who wouldn't get in the way. That's when he saw her. Sitting on the cold marble steps outside his corporate tower, wearing torn clothes, and cradling a paper cup. Her name was Emily. She was homeless, quiet, and had eyes that had seen too much pain for someone so young. Nathan didn't ask much. He offered her food, shelter, and a significant amount of money. All she had to do was marry him. Emily hesitated, but something about his offer, strangely enough, felt like safety, like a way out of the endless nights on the streets. She agreed, not knowing she was about to enter a world so far from her own. Their wedding was held in a private garden. No friends, no family. Just signatures, vows, and cold silence. Nathan returned to work like nothing had changed, while Emily tried to adjust to her new life in a mansion full of emptiness. The maids whispered about her. Nathan's business associates smirked when they met her. But Emily never responded with shame. She quietly learned to speak with poise, to walk through the glass halls like she belonged. And she began leaving behind her ragged past, not with bitterness, but with grace. Still, Nathan hardly acknowledged her. To him, she was a tool. A means to an end. He didn't know he was being watched by someone much closer. Nathan's cousin, Vanessa, had been eyeing the company's fortune for years. She believed she deserved it more than Nathan, and seeing him marry a homeless woman made her furious. She launched a quiet investigation, hoping to uncover evidence that the marriage was a fraud. But in the process, Vanessa discovered something else: Emily had a college degree. She had dropped out not because she wasn't smart, but because she was taking care of a sick mother who later passed away, leaving her homeless. Vanessa thought this could be used to embarrass Nathan. Instead, Emily used it as fuel. One day, during a corporate gala, a guest speaker fell ill at the last minute. The room fell into quiet panic. Nathan looked ready to cancel. But Emily stepped up to the stage. In her calm voice, she told the story of how she went from sleeping on park benches to standing beside the man who gave her a second chance, though not in the way people thought. She spoke about dignity, loss, perseverance, and finding purpose when the world turns its back on you. The room fell silent. Then exploded in applause. Nathan, who had always seen her as invisible, stood frozen. For the first time, he saw her. Not as a tool. Not as an obligation. But as someone who had endured more than he ever had and still stood with grace. From that night forward, things changed. Slowly. He started asking about her day. They had real dinners, not silent ones. He even laughed once. The icy walls he'd built his whole life began to thaw. But just when everything seemed to settle, Vanessa struck. She leaked private photos of Emily's past to the media, calling her a fraud, a gold digger, a street girl who tricked a billionaire. The internet exploded. Paparazzi camped outside their home. Investors started pulling out of Nathan's projects. Emily packed her bags quietly one night, ready to leave so he wouldn't lose everything. Nathan stopped her at the door. And for the first time, his voice broke. "Don't go," he said. "You're not the one who ruined my life. You saved it." He faced the media. Told the world the truth that yes, he married Emily to fulfill a clause in a will, but what he got in return wasn't money. It was perspective. And if that cost him investors who couldn't see value in humanity, so be it. A year later, they renewed their vows, this time, with real friends, real flowers, and real love. Nathan changed the way his company operated, launching a branch that offered housing programs for the homeless and job training for struggling youth. Emily became its face. The woman he once saw as broken became the reason he built something real. Sometimes, Love doesn't arrive in the form we expect. Sometimes, it walks in quietly, wearing pain like armor, and teaches the coldest hearts to feel again. Nathan married Emily for money. But in the end, she gave him something even wealth couldn't buy, a soul worth saving.